money. Screw YouTube and storage capacity. No, we don't care. Me and the goldfish, we just don't even care. We just cost them all the money. That's all. It's a lot of money.
Oh, shut up. We left the lettuce out.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Very good. Very, very good. This is what I like to see. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, Dom the Goat. What is up, Dom the Goat? Oh, why is it 9 anime word games? It's all weird looking. The fish is big. Yeah, they're still growing. They still got a lot to grow. They're still just babies. They'll get a lot bigger. Alright, let's watch this. We only have episode 11 out there.
shoulder with oily hands. Yoshi pushed him away, which started a fight that ended up with him getting, well, you guessed it, arrested. In jail, Yoshi tried to avoid the answer he had no and proved his self-defense.
Well, I mean, I must say, I'm not gonna get into it here, but how do you go into a car and put the t-shirt?
And just it's not Governor Ben's case, but when he was released 20 days later, always detained to produce anything. He accused his lawyer of secretly washing his clothes, and now believed there was a conspiracy to get him. I mean, the police showed up at the scene suspiciously quickly, and the mechanic must have tricked Yoshi into attacking him. It all made sense now. They were gang stalkers. Everyone in the town was gang stalking him, but he was going to expose them. In June 2013, Yoshi opened a YouTube channel to document the activities of these gang stalkers under the username IUAO700. Most of his uploads, around 10 minutes in length, are Yoshi recording from his balcony or cycling around his neighborhood. Randomly filming people in Japan is rude and possibly even illegal. Plus, Yoshi's using a digital camera, so it's not
The YouTuber here, guys, I wish YouTubers were more careful with their wording and kind of make their research. What does that mean? What does that mean? Possibly illegal. Is it illegal? Was it not legal? Yeah, there's no possible. That's not how it works, right?
surprising that he made a lot of enemies. One of the enemies he made was this construction company near his house that was installing security cameras in their parking lot. They must be spying on him. He calls the cops on them, but then he assaults and spits on the employee in front of the police officer that he called. So he gets arrested again. He was released after 20 days, basically caught and without charges. But this only intensified his crusade against the gang stalkers. Next, Yoshi noticed a strange van in his neighborhood. He went over to investigate.
What does he want like that?
He keeps asking Mr. Acid Milk the same questions over and over, and they're not making any progress, so eventually he just calls him a stalker. Mr. Acid Milk calls the cops.
That's hilarious. What the fuck?
Mr. Acid Milk calls the cops. The cops, who are already familiar with Yoshi, ask why he's being so aggressive in filming. The cops tell him to leave Mr. Acid Milk alone, and for once he gets off without being arrested. The next gang stalker Yoshi targeted in his videos was the elementary school. Yes, he was feuding with an elementary school. Why? Well, I guess the kids were being too loud. And the chime was annoying. And this is where things get messed up because
Well, that's fucking annoying. I will agree.
elementary school gang stalking him goes over and starts yelling and filming the students.
What?
And then the vice principal comes over to tell him to stop. She gets angry and the vice principal calls the cops on him. They let him go home that day, but then the next day the cops show up at his house with a search warrant and an arrest warrant. I don't think these officers want to be filmed. Suspiciously, during this kerfuffle, he picked up a charge for resisting arrest. Apparently, he scratched an officer. I don't know about this one, but they did end up prosecuting him and released him after 20 days.
What?
After this, Yoshi started to see gang stalkers everywhere. Every car that drove by was a gang stalker. Helicopters were gang stalkers. Even airplanes were gang stalkers. He looked around from a lot of local sources for causing trouble and filming stalkers.
stores what's going on the YouTube advertising, which is fair. Because it wants to let everything feel like, hey, it's fun. This is what it is there.
But then, all of a sudden, Yoshi went missing. He didn't upload for a full word.
No, wait a second.
Then he uploaded after he came back would explain everything. It starts off like a typical Yoshi video. He's cycling around his neighborhood and exposing the gang stalkers. But then, all of a sudden, I still get reached his back and angry Yoshi. He chases
What the fuck?
While Yoshi was fine with posting other people's faces online, he always censored his own. Eventually, he catches up to the kid and kicks him off his bike. Yoshi tries to attack while still on his bicycle, so the kid is able to dodge by just walking back and forth while calling for help on his phone.
Classic.
So women who with commotion come to help. They restrain Yoshi while waiting for the police to come, the whole while he's screaming. First off, the kid was fine, but this one was a big deal for Yoshi. The cops came, they arrested him, and this time they did prosecute. Thankfully, he recorded the evidence, so it was a pretty easy conviction, and he was sentenced to 10 months. That's why he was missing online for so long, and when he finally got back and uploaded this video, it didn't exactly go how he thought it would. I mean, he thought this video made him look good. Like, he thought he was the good guy in this situation.
Well, I mean, legally, I don't hold him like that. It's just not. It's not. If he's wrong, you're also gonna wrong too.
As you can imagine, this video caught people's attention. Specifically, the way he's yelling here kind of became a meme. But his next upload was
It's not whether I know Jimmy's law or not. Is that I'm going to assume. You cannot have citizens like say, oh, I know the law. This is a crime. I will now stop you. Now you look like a vigilante. Oh, this guy just did it. Okay, then Jack, what stops me from stopping somebody is jaywalk and then hold on the ground because guys, he did a crime and I gotta report this. I'm right in the holding down.
But first, a word from the sponsor of this video, Displates. Displates are in between their growling and their grunts, these two gentlemen are telling Yoshi, stop filming, get down here, and we're gonna beat you up. For a moment, this video almost makes me think, poor Yoshi, what could he have possibly done to make these guys so mad? But this is all Yoshi's fault. The reason they're mad at him is because he spat on their mom multiple times. Their dad tries to talk it over, but he quickly realizes Yoshi is a lost cause. Eventually, he gives up and just calls the cops. Yoshi dodges arrest again. And that was the end of the video. But when Yoshi clicked the upload...
Well, how did he dodge the arrest then? Did I get mad like did?
Button on this one, he didn't know how much it was going to change his life, because this thing went mega viral. The first thing people noticed is that the two young guys look exactly like the characters from the manga Space Brothers. So that became their nickname. And it didn't stop there.
What?
At this point, Yoshi's videos start getting a lot of views, and he becomes a bit of a celebrity online. As you could imagine, these viewers don't like Yoshi very much. Some of them decide to start messing with him. For a guy who's so concerned about gang stalkers, he did not protect his personal information very well. I mean, yeah, he censored his face, but he uploaded hours of footage from his balcony. He showed the front of his house. I mean, he even said the name of the elementary school. The people online didn't need to be rainbowed to track him down. At first, they started with small pranks, you know, signing him up to receive university pamphlets or flyers, stuff like that. Yoshi freaked out and called the cops.
書類とかって何ですかいっぱい置かれてますけど名前でありますけど違いますで俺の名前が書いてあるけど俺の名前を使って注文したやつがおるんだって
Which, of course, only escalated things.
Well, they can't prove that anymore.
Let's make it very clear that although Yoshi's behavior has been really bad up until this point, it's obviously wrong to mess with him in real life. The reason I say that is because it gets more intense from here. The next thing the trolls started doing was giving guys on Tinder Yoshi's address and saying to come over.
That's so bad. That is so bad.
ちょっと人に会いに来たんですけど、それで場所ここに
That's not funny at all.
んですけど、
That's
ちょ
hilarious.
っとネットの人で今から飲もうかってなって、
That's
聞
not
いた
funny.
ら人が違ったっていう。人が違ったってどうしてわかるんだ。
This guy's so convincing, even Yoshi's not sure he didn't invite him. Anyways, Yoshi asks the kid to show him the alcohol he brought, and then they have a peaceful parting. It wasn't long before the trolls themselves were showing up in Yoshi's neighborhood. At first, they started off by doing things like setting off fireworks or putting things on his bicycle seat, but it got out of control very quickly.
That is so not based.
Gentlemen? The masked man just stands there, showing off grocery store products. Even weirder, you'd expect Yoshi to be like, what are you doing here? But both of them just stand there in silence for an entire minute. Until...
おい、なんだお前。おい。なんだお前。
Honestly, Yoshi's pretty calm and collected here because
Chat, guys, these guys might.
That's so hilarious.
elves were showing up in Yoshi's neighborhood. At first, they started off by doing things like setting off fireworks or putting things on his bicycle seat, but it got out of control very quickly.
That is so not based.
Gentlemen? The masked man just stands there, showing off grocery store products. Even weirder, you'd expect Yoshi to be like, what are you doing here? But both of them just stand there in silence for an entire minute. Until...
おい、なんだお前。おい。なんだお前。
Honestly, Yoshi's pretty calm and collected here because...
Chat, guys, these guys might be like literally hired from the people that are like on like Craigslist, and they're like sold on this entire like skit of like oh, we're doing a movie, oh, we're over here, now do this, and they might be like sent and hired to do all this shit. So it's like they might not even know they're trolling somebody.
Because that was like a jump scare to me.
おい。
But that's not the last we'll see of what the fans called the masked gentleman. No, he came back the next day.
Oh, this is you only feel that way because it happened to you. Okay, so then you should then have it happen to you before you can say that this is bad. Gotcha. Hey, yo, so smart. That's so smart.
For some reason, he starts...
Fine, man, you got me.
Outside? Yoshi watches him do this for a while, like at least 10 minutes before he calls the cops.
家の前に覆面をした怪しい奴がいます。
わかりました。今まだいますか？
います。
何人いますか？
一人います。お前警察来るまで待ったろよ。
今その人と今話できるような状態。
おる、ここにおる。目の前におるわ。なんかこいつなんか凶器持ってますよ。
そんなことですか？
なんこれ。
Whoa! Whoa!
今カチカチやってます。
I cannot imagine what the guy on the other end of this call is thinking. Skipping ahead 3 minutes, the cops get there, but Yoshi thinks they came a little too quickly.
おはい。はい、もう来ました。どっかに隠れてたみたいに。どっかに隠れて110番するの待ってたみたいに来ましたわ。
But Yoshi's figured out their little conspiracy. They're working together.
お前らなんで110番すると金になるんか。騒ぎを起こしてお前110番させて、なんだお前ら金になるんか。
Nobody was arrested here, but things continued escalating outside Yoshi's house. So much so that he bought a security camera to capture what was going on.
What?
The first upload was on September 12th, 2016. It shows a man in the pitch black at 3 a.m. taking flash photography outside Yoshi's house. 2 weeks later, Yoshi uploaded another video from the security camera. This kid comes back and throws paper everywhere. Yoshi comes out to check what the hell's going on. This is what Yoshi looks like. It's the first time he's ever appeared in one of his own videos. The kid sees that he came out and runs back. Then we cut to some footage from Yoshi's digital camera. Everyone online thought Yoshi did a great job of standing up for himself, and that the other guy went way too far. But the guy can't leave without his shirt, so he has to come back and apologize to Yoshi to retrieve it. But the cops are already on the way. You'll never believe this, but for the first time in our story, someone aside from Yoshi gets arrested. Yeah, as you can tell, the cops were so confused by what was going on that by the time they finished the arrest, it had gotten dark. And on October 9th, there was a circus of trolls outside. But at least they stopped once the sun went down.
Oh man.
By now, the pressure and stress
No
of
way.
messing with him was getting to Yoshi, and he started to cause trouble in the neighborhood. Yoshi had finally met his match. But the trolls weren't getting bored. In fact, they were only getting more elaborate. At 5 a.m. on October 25th, one of them placed a cardboard box outside of Yoshi's house. 4 hours later, Yoshi walked out to get his mail.
What?
And guess who was inside? Not only were the pranks getting more elaborate, they were also getting more dangerous. On October 30th, these guys were adjusting a flag they put up at Yoshi's house, which pissed him off, so he ran out and charged at them. He pushed the ladder over. It's pretty brutal, but in a stroke of luck, the guy was actually completely fine. He got knocked down, got up, and then continued messing with Yoshi outside his house for the rest of the day, like many more.
Well, how do you censor it? It's like it's some WWE shit then. From the top ladder?
Hours outside. Not 2 weeks later, someone uploaded a video of themselves dancing outside Yoshi's house in an anime cosplay. The trolls had clearly escalated things too far, from harmless pranks all the way up to actual stalking. Yoshi's legacy is going from the guy who imagined he was being gang-stalked to actually being gang-stalked. And Yoshi wasn't the only one that they were hurting. You wouldn't believe this, but in that house of chaos, 48-year-old Yoshi lived with his parents, and their health started to decline. A few months prior, Yoshi's father slipped on their bathroom tiles and never fully recovered. In late 2016, he was hospitalized for pneumonia, and several weeks later, on January 3rd, 2017, he passed away. Yoshi never went to visit his father in the hospital because he was too paranoid about the gang stalkers, and he had his own theories about what happened. According to Yoshi, the slippery tiles that he tripped on, the gang stalkers did that. The pneumonia? Well, the gang stalkers did that too. Even the hospital employees were gang stalkers. Their drugs were poisoned. Obviously, none of that is true, but trolls messing with him 24/7 was not helping his mental state. These trolls were now in every part of his life. One of them had even gone and visited his dad in the hospital. Because things had gotten so bad, Yoshi's mom gave him an ultimatum. If he didn't stop using the internet by the end of March 2017, she would have him institutionalized. She even signed a document that would allow this. So Yoshi had no choice. He stopped uploading. For 6 months, there was no sign of
Wait,
it.
she
On
has like...
September 19th, 2017, everything changed. One of Yoshi's neighbors was walking by when he noticed something peculiar that made him stop in his tracks. It was Yoshi's mom laying outside the door. He called for an ambulance, but the person on the other end of the line was a little bit suspicious because it was Yoshi's address. He also alerted the neighbors, the Space Brothers' house, and they all went to help. An ambulance arrived.
That is very, very, very poor policing if that's true. If that's true, very poor policing. They have to take every call serious, regardless of even if there's 100,000 bad calls, it doesn't matter. They have to take it all seriously. Because the one time they get it wrong, they're liable.
The neighbors, the Space Brothers' house, and they all went to help. An ambulance arrived 10 minutes later.
Bro, imagine saying not true. You're a brain dead. You have no idea how that works. Just quiet.
Where was Yoshi? Well, it didn't take police long to find him.
お母さんのことで話したいから出てきて。
He was in his room, watching the security cameras the whole time. He didn't get up to help. They placed him under arrest, but he refused to cooperate, so they had to carry him out. His mom didn't make it, but Yoshi didn't do it. They cleared him and sent him home that evening. The reason we have this footage is because, well, with his mom gone, he was able to get back on the internet and post it with absolutely zero sympathy for his mother, just complaining about how the cops treated him. I know it's hard to sympathize with Yoshi after everything he's done, but he's still a victim in this story. The person he hurt the most with his actions is himself.
Well, I think that's still a weird commentary. Hold on, let me back it up.
With his mom gone, he was able to get back on the internet and post it with absolutely zero sympathy for his mother, just complaining about how the cops treated him. I know it's hard to sympathize with Yoshi after everything he's done, but he's still a victim in this story. The person he hurt the most with his actions is himself. After the stuff with his mom, things were back to normal for a while. But in mid-2018, Yoshi disappeared again. The trolls looked everywhere for him. People who went by his house reported it was empty. Eventually, one of the trolls just went inside. The door was unlocked. The inside of Yoshi's house was a mess. More disturbingly, there were signs of a struggle, like Yoshi had been taken away. The truth is, Yoshi had gotten into a fight while handing out his gang stalker pamphlets and assaulted someone. He was arrested, held for 22 days, and then institutionalized. He was released 6 months later, but his bad luck didn't end there. In June 2019, his YouTube account was banned for copyright violations. It's unclear why this happened, but it might have had something to do with trolls following him around and playing copyrighted music.
It's a lot more likely that somebody uploaded his own video and then made a complaint at YouTube that said, "Yo, this guy's uploading my video," even though this guy's copied the video, and YouTube doesn't fucking double check, and the guy doesn't check his email or whatever, and she should got banned. That's like 99% of what will happen.
3 days after his ban, Yoshi was hit by a truck while cycling around his neighborhood. He suffered broken ribs, a punctured lung, fractures in his shoulder, lower back, hips, and more. He was injured all over, but he didn't trust the hospital workers. He thought they were with the gang stalkers, so he refused treatment and went home. Adding insult to injury, Yoshi's internet had been disconnected for non-payment, and by the end of the year...
Just a question, Chat. Is it like a cultural
Yoshi's
thing,
internet
Chat?
had been disconnected for non-payment.
Is it like a cultural thing with scrolling text? Things that are, I've seen live streams that are both Japanese and Chinese, and a lot of them have scrolling text on top of the screen. A lot of it also in subways and a bunch of it. There's a lot of scrolling text. Yeah, it is cultural then. It is.
So he refused treatment and went home. Adding insult to injury, Yoshi's internet had been disconnected for non-payment, and by the end of the year, he also lost his water and electricity. Yoshi's obsession with gang stalkers had now cost him everything. Surprisingly, help came to Yoshi from the last place you'd expect.